Well, get ready to see more school buses on the road. Most students head back to school on August 28th. And here with us today is Greensboro Police Officer Thomas Fetzer. He's going to be diving into all the school road rules in just a minute, and he's also going to be answering your questions live. So text them in right now to the number on your screen, 336-379-5775, and we'll be answering any questions you have about driving and rules of the road for the next 30 minutes. So good afternoon to you, sir, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Good afternoon to you.
All right, let's start here with school zones. How do you know when you need to slow down in a school zone?
So a school zone is denoted by either flashing yellow lights or signs with times that the school zone is active both in the morning or the afternoon, or sometimes most school zones have both on site.
And what are the consequences of ignoring a school zone?
Speeding in a school zone can be as much as a $441 fine and court costs combined. So it is quite costly if you are speeding inside of a school zone that's currently active.
Would you say that sometimes it could be easy for someone to miss a school zone?
Absolutely. If a school zone is on your daily route and you've been driving it all summer, maybe as a driver you don't have children, so you don't realize that school's back in session, I would definitely say that it's probably pretty easy for somebody to not realize that the school zone is active and school has started again. So we do encourage drivers to make sure, if they do have a school zone on their normal routine or their daily route, to make sure that they leave a little bit early so they can navigate through the school zone, because typically school zone speeds are a lot slower than normal speeds. So it will add some to their transit time.
And making sure you kind of know where those routes are, where school zones are located as well too. And on the school bus laws, when do you need to stop when you see a bus?
So it's a common misconception about when to stop on a 4-lane road. Basically, anytime you're approaching a school bus, with the exception of it being a 4-lane road with a median or a turn lane in the middle, you have to stop in all directions. Front, back, coming, going, approaching, coming from behind. But typically, if it's a 4-lane road and there's a median or a turn lane that separates the 4 lanes, then traffic in the opposite direction does not have to stop for the stop sign.
And then that safe time too, when it's time to go, obviously when the sign closes back into the bus itself, right?
That's correct. Yes. The lights will turn off and the sign will fold in.
Gotcha. And going into that, when is it okay to pass a school bus?
Anytime the lights are not on and the stop sign is not out.
What should people keep in mind of traffic around schools?
Well, I mean, especially early into the school year, you've got new students that this may be their first day at a school, their first day at a particular school. You've got a lot of walking traffic, a lot of students crossing streets, parents crossing streets. So if you're driving or navigating through or around a school zone, just try to be cognizant of pedestrian traffic and other cars that are coming in and out. A lot of people, especially in the first few weeks of school, a lot of people do the car rider line. So you have an increased number of vehicles that are coming in and out of the school parking lot. So just if you're driving through a school zone, just keep all those factors in mind.
Yeah. What's the biggest mistake, you see when people are driving near schools?
Speeding. Speeding. Yeah, speeding. And I would say that probably a vast majority of drivers that are speeding in a school zone just don't realize that it's a school zone.
Yeah. How fast have you seen people kind of going in terms of what do records show?
I don't have any statistics here in front of me personally. I have seen, where a school zone speed limit is 25 miles per hour. I've seen drivers that will go through the school zone at 50 miles an hour.
Let's talk about the move over law. When should you be moving over when driving?
So this is an important law, and a lot of people don't realize that it actually is a law and can be cited for it. But anytime there is an emergency vehicle on the side of the road with their lights on, to include police, fire, EMS, tow trucks, even IMAP, if they're on the side of the road with their lights on, then the law is that you must move over to the next lane over if it is at all possible. If that's not possible, if there's traffic in the lane beside you, then you must slow down.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, what if people find it difficult to, slow down or move over if it's, difficult to do that?
Right.
Yeah. And we have a few questions kind of coming in here as well, too. Is it the law that slower traffic, like we were saying, must move over?
Not in North Carolina. No, that is not the law. We don't have there are some states that do have a law that if you're in the left lane and someone approaches you from behind that's going faster, then you must move over. But North Carolina does not have that law.
Gotcha. Well, we will take a pause right here and just continue to send in some questions so we can get them answered for you live. We'll be right back.